Hey, how's it going? My name is Exony, and today I wanted to talk to you about what is, in my opinion, one of the most infuriating items to play against in Team Fortress 2, the Vaccinator. Now this item is built upon an extremely interesting concept, but its execution makes it one of the most poorly designed weapons in the game due to extremely high build speeds and the playstyle that it encourages. Before anything else though, let's lay down the weapon's stats. It grants the medic and his patient a 10% resistance to either bullet, explosive, or fire damage, and deploys a charge that consumes 25% of its uber and reduces all incoming damage of one of these types by 75%. In terms of healing, it's the same as the medigun while your target is below 100% of their maximum health, healing 24 health per second, ramping up to 72 healing with crit heals. When your target is being overhealed however, you only heal for 8 health per second, making the Vaccinator quite inefficient at overhealing teammate. And just like with healing, Ubercharge builds significantly faster while your target is below 100% of their maximum health, building at a speed of around 4% a second. If your target is above 100% health, but below the 142.5% threshold, then you'll be building at just under 3% a second, which is still faster than the medigun. And finally, if your target is above 142.5% of their maximum health, you only build about 1% a second. Because of its increased build speed and unique ability to store multiple charges at each 25% increment, the Vaccinator's charges can build as fast as 6 seconds for a single bubble, 8 seconds for an overhealed player, and at worst 18 seconds per charge. So first and foremost, the biggest problem with the Vaccinator stems from its extremely high build speeds. Having a charge available every 6 to 8 seconds is an extremely powerful tool when a single charge can reduce a damage type to near nothingness. A Demoman's Pipe will deal 25 damage, a rocket will only deal slightly more at maximum ramp up, heavies and snipers become mere pesky flies to you and your patient, and it turns the Pyro's already pathetic DPS and reliance on crit mechanics into TF2's equivalent of being slapped with a wet noodle. Put this on paper and you have a cool medigun that allows you and your pocket to win solo encounters with ease, but because of the fast build speed, coupled with the fact that you still build uber while using a charge, meaning that by the time your charge wears off, you're almost halfway to another bubble, is the perfect equation for an annoying weapon. It's the playstyle that this promotes that is the major downfall of the Vaccinator. Due to the weapon's design, it suits a much more defensive playstyle, waiting for an enemy to misstep and run into you to be shredded. Pushing with the Vaccinator can be incredibly hard if the enemy team has a strong defensive hold, much like with the quick fix, you're not invincible. It requires you to be able to fight smaller groups of enemies to truly benefit from its charges, but here's where we run into a problem. A very defensive style of play may work for you on game modes like Payload or Attack Defense, where all you're doing is defending, but by promoting a defensive playstyle, you're discouraging active pushing, instead waiting for enemies to come into you one at a time, or picking off enemies who overextend. This makes for medics who are unwilling to fully commit with their team to make full pushes, and causes stalemates in game modes like 5CP or King of the Hill. While its major downside is being focus fired by a large group of enemy players, coordination is almost as rare as someone actually willing to play medic when it comes to playing TF2 casually, and in all actuality, a good pocket with the Vaccinator can take on entire teams because of this lack of coordination, making this by far one of the best mediguns to use in a pub with another coordinated player, or even just pocket some decent pub stomper to just win games. But it's not just lesser coordinated environments like pubs where the Vaccinator presents a problem when wielded by a competent medic. It also serves as quite a nuisance in 6s, where by running it, you can negate damage from half of the enemy roster just by applying an explosive resistance. Its main glaring problem is that it is an item that makes it easier to defend at an uber disadvantage, but makes it harder to push out and puts you in a cycle of disadvantage because of the uber charge you miss out on building by using it. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a scout player. While I do think that the Vaccinator is an incredibly interesting design on paper, its implementation is extremely annoying to play against in both a casual setting and a competitive one due to its ability to quickly gain charges and the defensive playstyle that it encourages. These problems add up to make the Vaccinator a very turtley medigun, and it encourages stalemate situations while you lose out on potential uber charge gain with a medigun that can actually move into a well-constructed enemy defense. It fills a role of helping you not lose while making it harder to win against a coordinated team. Ideally, this medigun would encourage a much more reactive style of playing medic, but as it stands right now, it's still a poorly designed weapon that requires some fine-tuning to truly be interesting. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I want to know your thoughts on the Vaccinator, so leave a comment and I'll do my best to respond to as many as possible. I hope you have a great day, and peace out.